Hey there, Samitian here, and welcome to Dark Souls. For those who are somehow unaware, Dark Souls is an action RPG originally released for the PlayStation 3 and eventually ported to PC, which is what I'm going to be playing on. I am playing on the original PC port, the Prepare to Die edition. Came out in 2012 because I do not own the remaster and I do not want to pay $40 for it. So I'm playing on the original, which is infamously a rather bad PC port of a PS3 game. So I'm running it with DS Fix, which is a mod that helps deal with a lot of the problems that the PC port had, including unlocking the frame rate and allowing me to use a texture pack and just other normal things that most PC games have available, like borderless windowed mode, stuff like that. So let's get right into it and start a new game in Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition. Now, unfortunately, this game is old and the online features for it are no longer a thing. So, I'm not going to get invaded randomly. I'm not going to be able to play co-op. So I don't get the full experience playing on this version, which would have been a reason to buy the remaster, I suppose. Anyways, this is my character. Her name is Astrid, and I'm going to be playing as a class that I have never played before. I'm going to be playing a cleric. So clerics use miracles, which is a type of spell that is mainly focused on healing and support abilities, which is not super strong, especially in the early game. So we're basically going to be playing this like a bad melee build for a while. Now, starting gift, these really don't matter for the most part. Like, the only thing that significantly changes anything is the master key. This lets you unlock a lot of locks that are randomly all over the map. I'm not going to take it because you can use this to like skip pretty big portions of the game, and I don't really want to do that. So, Black Firebomb's nice. It can help you deal with early boss fights. Just kill them. More deadly than STD Bomb? That doesn't sound like vanilla text to me. Maybe it is. I'll take the Twin Humanities. Humanity is nice. The more humanity you have, the better your defensive stats and the better your item discovery, so you'll be getting more drops. So I'll take one of these. Physique. Let's go with tiny head. No. Let's go with normal physique. What kind of face do I want? Sure. Hair, let's go with pigtails. No. Bun? Kind of like the bun. Braided. It's like bun, but with braids. Let's just go with bun. And the color of the hair, just silver. Not a ton of customization. Oh, I can customize the face. If I hit the random button, I'll just hit this a bunch until I get something that I like. Sure, sounds good to me. Customize further. Yeah, sure, it looks fine. We're not going to be looking at the face very often anyway, so let's go.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death. And of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
I forgot the cutscene was gonna be super loud because this game has funny audio balancing. Sorry about that. Your ears may be destroyed at this point in time.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
So here's where we start. An undead locked away in the north to await the end of the world. First things first, let's get the key and leave the cell. Easy enough. We have some little tutorial messages here to teach us how to play. The right stick moves the camera. Right bumper attacks. Bam. You can kill this guy, but all we got currently is this broken little sword, which does not do very good damage. Good enough to kill this guy, though. And right trigger does a stronger attack. Generally, these are slower, but do more damage. Over here to the right, we got a big boy in that room over there. Probably can't deal with him for the moment. Got some people in the cells, or do we? I thought in the cutscene we saw someone banging on one of these cell doors. Yeah, there's a guy in there. He's doing some prayer. Left stick and hold B to dash. And while this guy's here with his back to the wall. Oh, you cannot backstab him. Never mind. You can still kill him. Get a few souls down there to the right. Just a tiny amount. Right stick locks on. Allows you to strafe around an enemy. You'll notice that when I attack, I lose stamina up there in the top left. That's my little green bar. I'm going to play this like you have never played the game before. And you probably have, but maybe you haven't, and I can explain what I'm doing. And I'm at least going to keep doing that for like the first video or two. Just explain some things. If I rest at a bonfire, I can recover my health. And these are also the respawn points. And because I'm a cleric, I can attune magic at the start. I only have one spell currently, it's heal. I can't use it, I don't have anything equipped that can let me use that, but I do have the spell. Over here we got a door that is locked and does not open from this side. And there's nothing really else in this courtyard, so the only way to go is forward. Get away. And that is good advice, because while it is possible to kill that guy with your little broken butter knife over here, is not the intended way to do that, so. Gonna continue forward, sit at this bonfire. And get my shield. Alright, we got a boy over there. This one, unlike the guys that I fought earlier, actually has a weapon. And I got my shield. So if I open the start menu, I can change my equipment. And if I hold left bumper with my left shield equipped, I guard. So let's equip the shield real quick. Let's read the lore on this shield. It's a wooden shield decorated with the ancient symbol of a double-headed eagle painted yellow. Wood shields are lighter than metal shields, but with lower physical damage reduction and reduced shield stability. So we can look at the stats here. The damage reduction is over there in like the middle of the screen. If I block, that's how much damage gets reduced. So if I block a physical attack, I take 88% less damage from that attack. Stability is how stable the shield is, so a higher stability is better. It means I take less stamina damage when I get attacked while blocking. And I think makes it less likely for my guard to break. I don't know if that's actually true or not. And there's also the offensive stats over there on the left, in case I want to attack with the shield, like that. So, in general, it's better to simply attack and dodge than to block. I think backstabbing him was a blunder. Oh, nope, he's still backing up. I would like to equip my mace. Do that real quick. Gonna give him a good old bop. And he's dead. So, if I had two different weapons equipped, I could press left to change to a different weapon. Instead, I just get my fist out and I can punch with it, but that's not very useful. I could also unequip the shield or equip something different on my left hand. You could also have your weapon in your left hand if you want. I think this game might be too old for that. You can definitely do that in more recent games. Anyways, these fog walls are things to basically differentiate areas in the game. For the most part, it doesn't really matter if an area is broken up by a fog wall or not. It matters in PvP. There will be, like, if the fog wall is not open in an area, you can get invaded in that area, I think. I don't really remember. And PvP is no longer enabled in this game because it's old. B does a backstep, left stick and B rolls. I shouldn't have been rolling, I didn't get the tutorial for it yet, I'm sorry, I broke the immersion. And if we go down this staircase over here, we can unlock a shortcut. This is the locked door that we saw a bit ago. And now I can sit at the spawn fire and have this be my spawn point. Dark Souls is a very knowledge-based game. Like, it's all about learning what's about to happen to you. So, for example, I've played the game before, so I know that ball's coming. You could also have noticed the ball if you're just like paying attention and look up the staircase before you climb up it. But the ball has broken this wall, and in here, we got a guy to talk to. This is the guy that threw down the corpse that had the key for us at the start of the game.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Sure, I'll hear you out, buddy.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Alright.
Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Alright, so we got a key to let us progress further, but more importantly, we got ourselves an Estus flask. This is our healing item, the main healing item for, whoops. This is the main healing item for most of the game. The undead treasure these dull green flasks. That is not green. Oh, it is green if it's empty. Fill with Estus at a bonfire, fills HP. The Estus flasks are linked to the Fire Keepers. The Dark Tales also make reference an emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives to protect the flame and dies to protect it further. So a lot of funny words that basically means this is our healing potion for the entirety of the game. It will heal us, and we have a limited amount of it, and whenever we sit at a bonfire, we get the healing back. I can press the X button to use the item, and when I rest at a bonfire, I replenish the Estus flask. If you're feeling particularly mean, you can also just kill this guy to get the flask and the key without having to talk to him, but I'm not mean. Also, he just fucking killed himself behind me. I forgot he does that. I'm trying to be playing the game as if it was reasonably like the first time I've played the game. So I don't want to really skip a ton of stuff, but if there is somewhere that I can go like a little bit out of order to get some decent equipment for myself, I will do that. Like, for example, there is an item that I want to get relatively early that is definitely not in the first few locations in like the normal progression of the game. So I might do that. If I press the Y button, I can wield my right-handed weapon two-handed. If it's two-handed, it's generally a little bit slower, but it does more damage. If I left stick forward and right bumper, I kick. And if I left stick forward and right trigger, I jump attack. Both of these in this particular game are rather janky and annoying to pull off, so I usually don't bother. And here, resting at bonfires revives enemies. So if you need to grind, well, rest at a bonfire and kill some more dudes. And over here, we get our talisman. This talisman is how we cast our spells. So if I do this, now I have the ability to cast my heal spell, and if I press the left trigger, I will do so. Or left bumper, I mean, I will do so. I don't want to use it right now, I don't need to heal. One of the good things about clerics is you will have extra healing while exploring and progressing, which means you will not have to rest as much. As I mentioned before, heal spell, or miracles in general, are not super good early game. Most of the good ones are like mid to late game. So for the early parts of the game, I'm basically going to be playing as a melee build. I'm basically going to be bopping people with my stick to kill them, and my spells are mainly going to be used to heal me in between bopping people with my stick. You got more tutorial messages. Let's read what they have to say. With my talisman equipped, right bumper use miracle. Well, that's if I have the talisman in my right hand. Since I have it in my left hand, it's left bumper to use miracle. Right bumper while falling does a plunging attack. And right bumper behind an enemy does a critical hit. I showed that off earlier over there. And left trigger is to parry, repel an enemy attack. So say someone attacks me, if I do this, I can parry the attack, and then if I right bumper to attack them while that's happening, I will riposte. I'll try to do this. I'm really bad at parrying, though. Yeah, like that. I'm very bad at parrying. This is fine. I'll try to show it off. Yep. There we go. Parrying is a pretty good strategy. I'm just really bad at it, so... What happens if I left trigger while I use this? Oh, you punch with it. That's not very useful. So, as you can tell, healing is very slow. I don't have the key for this door, so I can't go through it yet. This leads to that item I saw at, like, the top of the staircase a bit ago. Can't get it yet. Healing is very slow. It's not reasonable to use it in combat. Healing with the Estus Flask is also very slow, so you need to make absolutely certain you're in a safe position before you use it. It's faster than casting a heal spell, though. So let's go through the white light. And the boss that we were seeing before is there waiting for us, and we're going to give him a little tickle on his face. Never mind, apparently if you take too long, he fucking jumps up after you. I didn't know. Did you know? That's fine. Plunging attacks are for cowards. Ow. Knockdowns are rather annoying because it is annoying to get back up. Blocking against this guy is not really a thing, so I'm going two-handed on my mace. Ow. He's also not super hard. He doesn't hit very hard. It's basically the tutorial boss, because it is the tutorial boss. Take your time, avoid his attacks, and he's not that bad. Even though I did use 3 of my Estus Flasks. And then I can just top up with my heal spell. Heal Miracle, to get me back on track. And with the key, we can leave the asylum. Pretty easy start to the game. It's basically there to teach you the mechanics, teach you that in general going fast will probably get you killed, is just take things slow. Good job, go straight ahead. Well, I'm not going to go straight ahead, I want to look around a bit first. That message is a trick, because if I go straight ahead, I'll miss this. Oh, this isn't here right now. Never mind. Later that will be something. And I thought there was an item over here. There is. Got a soul of a lost undead. These undead souls are soul of a lost undead who is long ago gone hollow, used to acquire souls. So if I pop this item, I get a few souls. I think it's 200 or something like that. Not a ton. But if I'm poor and need to afford something, well, then I can pop that and get a little bit extra. Is there something else there? Maybe not. I guess not. Unless I've missed it. So let's go straight ahead. Warning that cutscenes... Is there a way to change the cutscene volume? No. Turn voices up a little bit. So when there's cutscenes, they're going to be loud, and I'm sorry.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Okay, maybe it was only the intro cutscene that's super loud. Maybe the in-game cutscenes aren't that bad. That bird is having some trouble. One of the things about the DS Fix 60 FPS patch, it can mess with the physics a little. Usually it's not that bad, but like if you're just playing the game normally, the different physics aren't going to be that much of a pain, but it can do some funky things at times. So here we are in Lordran. We level up and kindle at bonfires. So we can rest at the bonfire. Now we can level up and kindle and reverse hollow. Leveling up, well, you spend souls that you've gotten to level up. Kindling, I don't remember what that does. And reverse hollowing turns us human. So, first of all, let's go over here and grab these. Gives us a few humanity. And if we pop this humanity, the number up there in the top left will increase. And then we can use that humanity to reverse our hollowing. And go back to being human instead of undead. As a human, you can interact with all of the various multiplayer stuff. So you can, like, well, assuming the multiplayer still existed, you can invade people, you can be invaded, you can play cooperatively with people, all that sort of good stuff. And if I have more humanity while I'm human, as in the number in the top left there, I get better defenses, I get better item discovery, which means enemies will drop items more often, and I think it does other things that I don't quite remember. But the important one is the item discovery. If you're going to be farming for items, you're going to want to be at 10 humanity at least, because at that point you have the best item discovery possible. And that's going to be important for my character, because, as I mentioned before, I'm a cleric, and unfortunately a lot of the best equipment and miracles in this game for clerics require you to do stuff in covenants, which are like the various factions of the game. And a lot of those covenant items to increase your standing in covenants are from multiplayer. And as I mentioned before, multiplayer is no longer a thing. But From Software has deigned us with enemies that drop these Covenant items at a relatively low rate, a pretty low rate. So at points in time, I'm going to want to get to 10 humanity, and I'm going to want to start farming some things. Now, before I go ahead and level up, let's talk to this guy over here.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
So this guy's giving us a little bit of a tippy tip about what we need to do. We need to go find these 2 bells of awakening and ring them. Easy enough.
What? You want to hear more? Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the undead church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the undead burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the undead burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
Just giving us a little bit more details about the places with the bells.
Bloody hell, what is it now? You ask too many questions. I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone.
It's very important to talk to characters as much as humanly possible until they start repeating their dialogue. A lot of characters in this game have various story quests to, like, learn more about them, finish up their storylines, etc. And in a lot of cases, the only way to get them to continue with their story and move to a new location is to talk to them as many times as humanly possible. I don't think it matters for this guy, but I'm going to be doing that for most of the game just to do it. You might notice that we have 10 Estus flasks now instead of 5. That's because this bonfire starts out kindled. And if you kindle a bonfire by giving it a humanity, you increase the number of Estus flasks you can have when you sit at that bonfire. It's very nice to do in a bonfire before a boss, for example, to give you a little bit of extra healing. Now, let's talk about leveling up and stats. So, you level up by spending souls. Souls are the things we've been getting from killing enemies. We can get them from those soul items, like the one that I found in the Undead Asylum. But souls in this game are used both to level up and as a currency, so you need to decide what you want to spend your souls on pretty carefully. So let's talk about all the stats. First stat is Vitality. Vitality increases your HP. Having more health means you die less often, which is always good. Leveling up anything also increases your defenses. So you can see my physical defense, magic defense, flame defense, and lightning defense all go up when I increase Vitality. It also goes up when I level literally anything else. So don't worry too much about your defenses. You can just level whatever you need for your main build. So Vitality is always good. It increases your HP and prevents you from dying. I would always recommend you level up your Vitality early game at least a little bit. Attunement increases your attunement slots. You can see over there on the far right. More attunement slots means you can equip more spells and have those spells available for use. The number you can equip is all based on a threshold. So level 12 gives me 2, level 14 gives me 3. I think 4 is at like 17 or something, and it just keeps going up and up. So as a spellcaster, this is going to be important, but maybe not super important early game. Endurance increases your stamina and your equip load, and your bleed resist. Stamina means you can do more things before you need to wait for your stamina to recover, and equip load is how much stuff you can equip. Let's talk about equip load for a second there. If you'll look over there on the right, my equip load is currently 12 out of 49. So equip load mostly matters in thresholds. If you are below 25% equip load, which in this case would be less than this. This is less than 25%. You are faster, and your rolls are as fast as they can be if you're below 25% equip load. This is called a light load. Now, if you are between 25% and 50%, you have medium equip, which makes you move a little bit slower, and your rolls are also slightly slower, like this. And if you are above 50% equip load, which I cannot do, I don't have enough junk to equip to get me above there, you are a lot slower, and you perform what is colloquially called a fat roll, which is very slow and not very good at avoiding attacks at all. So you've basically got options. You can equip like stronger armor, but have worse rolls, or you can equip lighter or less armor and have faster rolls. Usually, it's a better idea to avoid damage completely rather than take less damage, but if you have higher equip load, you can equip better armor and still go with the better rolls. So endurance is also very good to take on pretty much whatever build you want. Vitality and endurance are two constants. Strength increases the damage you do with strength-based weapons, such as this mace or a sword, or almost every melee weapon is strength-based. There's a few that are dexterity-based. It also lets you equip better weapons, better strength-based weapons. Every weapon in the game has a minimum requirement to use the weapon without penalty. Let me look at this mace here. So, in the middle there, the required parameters. This requires 12 strength to equip, and it doesn't require any dexterity, any intellect, or any faith to equip. Now, if I had a weapon that I wasn't strong enough for, it's possible that equipping the weapon with two hands will make you strong enough to equip it. I think it's double the parameter, or half the parameter, I mean. So if like something required 40 strength, I think if I was two-handing it, it would require 20 strength. I'm not 100% sure on that. And the same cannot be said for dexterity-based weapons. Two-handing a dexterity-based weapon will not have the dexterity requirement. It only has the strength requirement. That being said, dexterity is basically the same. This affects how much damage you do with dexterity-based weapons, and lets you equip better dexterity-based weapons. Resistance increases your defenses and your poison resist. The defenses that it increases are slightly better than if you increase it from other means. So here I have 67 physical defense if I level this 3 times. If I level strength 3 times, I have 63 physical defense. So resistance gives you more defenses than the other stats, and it gives you some poison resist. I don't think it's a very good idea to level this, at least not early game. Late game, if you're at like past the point of soft capping a lot of your stats, maybe go into it a little bit, but I don't think it's worth it. Intelligence. This allows you to equip better spells, sorcery spells specifically, and it affects how much damage you do with those spells. And Faith, this is our main stat as a cleric, allows us to equip better miracles, and increases the damage done by those miracles, or the healing done by those miracles. Now, before I level up, I would like to go over here and have a chat with this man. If I press the back button, I can do a gesture. I can beckon him over, stuff like that. Hello.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland. Have you business with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Sounds kind of rude, but we can keep talking to him.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Gives us a copper coin. Thanks.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
That would please me, yes.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods. Now let me share my miracles.
As a cleric, I
Only
start in this
their
covenant.
ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Alright, so he can also teach me a gesture. A shrug gesture. Nice. And I can learn some miracles. So I can only afford this one. Seek guidance. Miracle of Clerics on an Undead mission. Display more guidance from other worlds. Guidance facilitates communication between undead, but their value varies greatly. A balance of faith and wisdom is required. This lets you see more of those messages on the ground from other people. Unfortunately, you can no longer see those, I don't think. But we got some other miracles here that we could buy if we had more souls. So we could buy another heal. It may seem weird to buy this if we already have it, but if we equip 2 of them, we get 10 uses of heal instead of just 5. So this is an elementary miracle cast by clerics, restores HP. To cast a miracle, the caster learns a tale of the gods and says a prayer to be blessed by its revelations. Heal is the shortest of such miraculous tales. Then we got Force. It's a common miracle among cleric knights. Create a shockwave. This quickly acting miracle inflicts no damage, but propels foes back and defends against arrows. Cleric knights use this miracle when charging into enemy mobs. This is actually pretty good, especially in areas where there are like lots of cliffs. You can just launch things off the cliff with force. You can deflect arrows with it, which is useful in a particular area in the mid game. We have Homeward. Great miracle class by advanced clerics. Return to the last bonfire rested at. It's basically an item that we're going to get later, a homeward bone, but in a miracle form. But normally linked to one's homeland, only the curse of the undead has distorted its power, redirected casters to a bonfire. Or perhaps for undead, this serves as home. And the final thing we can buy here is the Great Heal Excerpt. It's a great miracle cast by advanced clerics. It restores high HP. Great Heal Expert borrows from only several verses of Great Heal. As a result, it can only be cast a stark few times, and by a few times it means exactly 1, which is not very good. So he sells a lot of things that I want. I want Force. I probably want Great Heal Excerpt, maybe not. And I might want a second heal, but I definitely want these two. I don't want Seek Guidance. And Homeward, you usually get enough Homeward bones. And then he sells some talismans. He's got the just basic one. Medium for casting miracles of the gods. Standard talisman issued to common believers. Equip talisman to cast miracles. Tune miracles from a scroll at a bonfire. Most miracle have a limited number of uses. We could also buy the Thoroland talisman, which has a higher magic adjust, but scales worse. So you can see the param bonus there on the left. The B means it scales better with your faith than this one, which scales with the C. But this one has a higher base magic adjust, meaning that it's better for us in the short term.
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
So let's take a look at our talisman currently. And the magic adjust on this is currently 122, but it has an A parameter bonus, which means as we level our faith, the magic adjust on this will get better. So Do I want to buy a short-term talisman to increase the strength of my miracles? Probably not. Early game, we're not going to be using miracles a ton, I don't think. Force and heal. Sticking with just those two spells for the early game is probably going to be what we want to do. Let's finish this
Oh,
guy's dialogue.
hello. I will teach you miracles. A promise is a promise, after all.
Just want to hear everything
My
he has to say.
companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm.
Milady?
An undead mission? Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil. Perhaps if you show your faith.
So we can learn more lore if we pay him 200 souls. Sure, why not?
Very well. I can surely tell you, of all people, undead clerics are given a mission to seek kindling. Kindling is the art of feeding bonfires with humanity. Through kindling, we shall one day be granted magnificent powers. Very well.
Alright.
Come again. The effect.
We have learned all that he has to teach us. So, I can't afford anything he's selling currently, which means I'm probably going to spend my souls on leveling up. 1 level in attunement means I can equip 2 spells instead of 1, however I don't have another spell to equip currently. Strength means I'll be doing more damage with my mace, and I'm probably going to be using a strength-based weapon for a while. Vitality means I'll have more health and will die less, and Endurance means I can equip better equipment, and will have more stamina. I think early on I want to take Vitality. Now, as you might be able to tell, each level of Vitality increases your health by a different amount. I don't know the exact numbers and I'm too lazy to do the math, but from what I understand, it generally trends upwards until 30, and then it starts trending downwards. So the more you level Vitality up to 30, the better leveling Vitality gets, and then after level 30, it'll slowly get worse over time. So we're going to want to go up towards that level 30 mark. Probably not immediately, but a few levels in it early is good. I think we can live with 12 strength for now, and when I do get another spell, 1 level of attunement, and I can use that other spell. So we're going to go with Vitality for now. A little more health means we'll die less, and dying less is good. And I think that's going to do it for today. Next time we're going to continue exploring this area, this Firelink Shrine, try and find all the goodies hidden here, and maybe go to an area that I'm woefully underprepared for, looking for a specific ring. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.